Hello, world. I want to apologize in case my fan, which is right beside me, is making noise on the microphone. It's Jamaica. It's the end of May. It's extremely hot, and I need the fan. I can't sit here without having the fan. So I'm sorry if it causes interference. I realized that in my last live, the fan was causing interference, which I didn't realize. I'm really sorry about that. So, I had intended to write all day today. I have not written all day today. It's a holiday here in Jamaica, and I did do some work on my manuscript early this morning, but then I had to leave the house. And I'm so introverted that every time I leave the house and I have to interact with people, I get very exhausted. And so, as soon as I came home, I honestly, I just fell into the bed. And I've been trying to take a nap since round about 11 o'clock today, Jamaica time, and it's now 6:32 Jamaica time. I still haven't taken the nap. So I've thought about coming to my computer several times, but I was just like, oh, I'm too tired. But then I kind of forced myself to come and sit because I realized that if this was work, I do work full time. So if this was my regular job, as tired as I am, if it's logging in time, I would have logged in and I would have had a productive day. So just because I'm tired doesn't mean I can't have a productive day. So I do have some updates on my manuscript. I don't remember if it was last night or this morning, but I decided to make a huge change to the story. So I've been saying that although I'm writing this book, and although I've given myself until the 31st of May to finish the first draft of this book, I actually don't know exactly what the story is. I know what the theme is, I know what the underlying message is, but I don't know exactly what the story is. And so I've been writing based on an idea that I have of the plot, but where the plot is supposed to go, it's not quite cemented. I have a sense of it, but I don't have anything concrete. I even have an outline of it, but again, the outline is very vague. It's like for part one, this is what's happening in the background. For part two, this is what's happening in the background, but I don't exactly have a plan for what's happening in the foreground of the knowledge as the main character is going through her development, her character arc. And so either last night or this morning, I I decided to make a change to a location in the manuscript so that it works better with the story that I have in mind. And then by changing that location, I ended up having, I don't want to say an epiphany, it wasn't that serious, but deciding to make a significant change to the background of the story. And so now what I'm trying to do is go back through each scene that I've already written. And to date, I've only written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 scenes, which is probably equivalent to about 2 chapters, unfortunately. Um, so now what I'm trying to do, having decided to make that pretty significant change, is to go back through each scene that I've already written to update the scene with this new change, not only of location, but change of motivation for one of the other characters in mind. And because the other character's life is so intricately entwined with the main character, the main female character's life, then I also have to make other changes to the main female character's life. So I'm revising and making changes, which is why I don't have a particular word count for this session. I decided to go live because if I don't, I'm going to find every excuse not to stay in my seat. And again, this is real life. I have a child, a teenager at that. I have an elderly parent. They're both in the house with me. I have dogs. I have, distractions. So things may happen, but the intention is for me to stay seated for the next hour to do some revision on this manuscript. My aim for today is to at least update all 14 scenes to reflect this significant change that I decided to make last night or this morning, whenever it was. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. and I'm going to try to be quiet more or less for the next hour until a few minutes past 7:30 Jamaica time. It is now 6:36 Jamaica time, so I'll try to be here for an hour. This light is a bit bright for me, so I'm gonna dim it a bit or change the temperature or something. Oops, that's not it. That's not it either. I guess it's the right temperature, but not the right brightness. Okay, that's better. All right. So I'm going to mute. Hopefully, if I decide to say something, I'll remember to take myself off mute. And for accountability, I've already changed 3 scenes today. So I'm starting at the top of the fourth scene. So as I've been revising, I'm still in the I'm still in the fourth scene that I'm revising. As I was reading what I had already written, um, I had to rewrite the scene because, like I said, something significant had changed. And so, as I was trying to figure out what was going to happen in this scene, an idea came to me about a prayer board, for want of a better term. Now, I used to have a prayer board that I made out of poster board, and I used one of those trifold poster boards that people use in like science projects and stuff. And I know I had the acronym PRAY written on it, PRAY, and then I had four columns on it, and I don't remember what the PRAY was for. So I had to recycle the board recently, and I didn't take a photograph of it. Actually, I think I might have a photograph of it somewhere, but this would have been like 4 or 5 years ago. So I don't remember for the life of me what the P, the R, the A, the Y were for. I think the Y was yes, like yes exclamation mark for like praise reports. But I cannot remember what the P, the R, the A stood for. And I think I may have gotten the idea from Priscilla Shire, maybe from her book Fervent. I have no idea where that book is now because I've moved, which is why my poster board was not being seen because I put it away when I moved, and then I needed the cardboard for something. And so what I've been doing as I've been looking on my other monitor is trying to Google to try to remember what the acronym PRAY was about. I know I had a section on it for people I was praying for them to get saved. So that was just people's names. And this was during the height of COVID that I created this. So I had people who had COVID who I was praying for, and just other prayer requests and specific prayer requests for different people. And sometimes people would reach out to me and ask me to pray for them, and I would just write a little post it note and stick it on this board. But I cannot remember what the PRA were for. And I'm Googling, and of course, I'm not finding what I'm looking for. So I'm not just like scrolling on social media, which is honestly what I've been doing all day while trying to fall asleep. I'm actually trying to remind myself what the PRAY was for because one of the characters has decided to set up a little prayer section in her house, and I wanted to. I thought it was a great idea when I was using it, so I want it to be a great idea for my character, but I need to remember what the P, the R, the A were for. So I'm kind of looking that up. Okay, if I keep searching for this, I'm going to spend the rest of my hour doing this. So let me just write around it and then make a note to come back to this at a later date. I just saw a YouTube video in which Priscilla was interviewed about prayer, and I know I watched that interview, so it's possible that that's where I got the idea from. It's possible that she described it in that interview. So I'm not going to watch the interview um, when I should be revising. Like I said, I'm still in the same. I just got an idea of where I could get the acronym from because I designed the headings in Canva. So I could always like go back to Canva from like 5 years ago or 6 years ago and see if I can find what these acronyms are for. Because if I can find it, then I want to go ahead and rewrite the scene rather than have to start rewriting the scene now and then come back to the scene later. Ah, here we go. Let me see. Why did I think that this had an acronym? I don't see an acronym at all. I see the thing that I designed in Canva, but all it says is praise reports on one and salvation on the other and prayer in the middle. And I'm pretty sure that's not what this was. I'm still gonna look through Canva for this because I feel like it should be there. Note to self, I really need to do a better job of putting titles on my Canva designs. It's hard to search when there is no title. A lot of them are just saying untitled, untitled design. Okay, I'm giving myself 2 more minutes to look for this thing. If I don't find it in 2 minutes, that's it. P, praise. R, repent. A, ask. Y, yes. Ah, the title of the thing in Canva is P, just P. So it's praise, repent, ask, yes. Found it. Looks like it is from Fervent. I just Googled pray, Priscilla Shire, praise, repent, ask, yes. So I'm going to mention that book in my manuscript because I do not want to just use someone else's work. Well, can you believe it? It's been like 55 minutes or so, and I just finished updating that first scene. Remember, I said that in that 1 hour I wanted to go through scenes 4 to 14. I've been in scene 4 this whole time because I decided to add that whole section about the prayer board, and who knows if that's going to make it into the final version of this novel. finished another scene. That one only had minimal changes. Talk about divine timing, right? So, you know that I've been working on revising my existing scenes because last night or this morning I decided to make a fairly significant change to a piece of the background of the novel. So, in this novel, the main female character and I guess the main male character are going through marital separation. And I had originally intended for him to leave the country for work, but then last night or this morning, I decided to have him move to a different state. And so, as I've been going through the manuscript, I've been making changes uh, to everywhere that it says he has left the country. I've had to change it to he has left the state. I've had to change details about why what he left the country to go and do in another country. I've made those kinds of changes, which seem to be fairly minor, but then I also made some changes to the main male character's motivation because his motivation to leave the country, it doesn't make as much sense to use. That motivation was so specific that it's more credible that for him to move to a different state, his motivation would have to be different in order for that motivation to be credible. So I can't give you many details because one, why would you buy the book if you know what's happening in the book? And two, I don't know the details yet. I'm still trying to figure it out, even though I have less than a week to go with my self imposed deadline being on the 31st of May. But because this is a collaborative effort, as we're writing as a group, writing different novels, we have to take into consideration parts of other novels that will be feeding into our own novels. And so, as I've been sitting here revising these scenes that I already wrote, I just got a message from one of the, I mean, I wasn't the only one who got the message, but one of the other authors shared a message in which she provided more background around what was happening to her character. And the thing is, what's happening to her character, it directly feeds into what's happening to my character. So the fact that she has given this information now while I'm already revising and while her character is literally about to be introduced, I'm at the end of scene one, two, three, four, five, six. I'm at the end of the sixth scene, and her character is being introduced in the beginning of the seventh scene. And now I have more information about her character that I can use in my manuscript. And so, had this information come in 2 days, I would then have had to go back again to revise all the scenes after her character appears, kind of has a cameo appearance, if you will, in my book, because what I had in my mind is not what she has described in her message. And so that was just divine timing just now, because I literally just got to the end of this scene and her character is introduced in the beginning of the next scene. Perfect timing. So I'm going to stop there. It's been over an hour, almost an hour and a half. I have revised one, two, three scenes because I started on the fourth and I did the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. And my deadline for Sunday, the 31st of May, is not looking very likely because I'm still, like I said in the beginning, I have an outline with 6 parts to this book and I'm still working on writing part one. So the good thing is that the deadline of May 31st is self imposed. The bad thing is that I do have to have everything finished by a certain date because of the collaboration, and I want to get it edited before that date. And so I'm really cutting it closely. I haven't even reached out to an editor, and there are 2 people that I really would like to work with, and I have not even reached out to them. So let's see what happens. But I'm going to stop there for today. Let me see if my word count has changed significantly. Not bad. I didn't intend to add any words, but I have added, let me see, I have added 459 words. I took out a lot of words and I've added some words. So I have a net addition of 459 words. My current word count is 22,610, but I expect that a lot of changes are going to come in the coming scenes because of the information I got from the other author just now, as well as the changes that I have made to what I was thinking of. And just for the record, this is not unusual for me to be making major changes while writing the book and having to go back and revise. This is par for the course for me. I'm not a very organized writer, I'm not a very organized thinker, and that's how this manifests in writing for me. All right, so I'm gonna stop there. It's been an hour and 20 minutes, and I have work in the morning. I do work full time. I have work in the morning, and I'm gonna go have my dinner. And I might come back to sit. I'd be surprised if I do, but um, yeah. Thank you for joining me. Although I know that nobody saw me live, that's perfectly fine. I like the idea that I have this means to remain accountable to you and to myself, really. So I'll stop there. If anyone ever does use this to kind of work on a project that they have, um, and you're hearing this in the future, may God bless you, keep you, cover you, protect you, and send his angels to encamp around you. Ciao for now.